Welcome to my channel, where we discuss issues on politics and especially the forthcoming presidential election in Nigeria. And as I keep repeating, the presidential election is the most important of all the elections next year. Now, issue of academic qualification has been brought to the front burner, largely because of Reno Omokri, former presidential aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, who is currently unashamedly campaigning for Atiku Abubakar. If you understand the history of Atiku Abubakar, and I will show you the kind of person that Reno Omokri is. Atiku Abubakar was among the conspirators who literally chased Jonathan away from the presidency in 2015. As a result of that, Reno Omokri lost his job. But because he's not a person that has character, he has to be working for the political interest of the man that chased them away with their tails between their legs in 2015. This is the man he wants to be the next president of Nigeria. And the way he's going about it is even very appalling. Now, given the fact that there's no controversy at all concerning the qualification of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi. If academic qualification is supposed to be an issue in this election, it has to be with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who submitted the primary and secondary schools he attended in his 1999 form and has now contradicted himself by leaving the two positions vacant, which means Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is admitting in 2022, ahead of 2023 election, that he did not attend primary and secondary school. That didn't bother Reno Omokri and his principal, Atiku Abubakar, to do something about it. It is Peter Obi's qualification that he has a degree in philosophy and a second-class degree. So that is the one they think they can now use to demarcate Peter Obi. Perhaps they have found nothing else they could use. But of course, I don't expect Nigerians to pay much attention to it. But Reno Omokri has been running with it, and some mainstream newspapers are also publishing it in their online versions. Now, Reno Omokri, in his Twitter handle, I will read for you some of the tweets. There are so many of them. It was a flurry of tweets. Of course, what that indicates, as I keep saying, is that Peter Obi is the man to beat. That is why they are paying so much attention to him. Now, look at what Reno Omokri wrote. And I will deal with some of them in this video. And there's some that I will discuss in future videos. This is what he wrote. Second class BA in philosophy. No wonder the Peter Obi that boasted he was going to fix our power generation does not even know what green energy is. even after the 3 days he spent in Egypt. No amount of traveling can expose your deficiency in academic education. In another tweet, he wrote, the most educationally backward of all the major candidates is Obi. Nigeria's challenges are serious. I'm not sure a man whose highest qualification is a second-class degree in philosophy is better than those with PhDs and masters in relevant courses. In yet another tweet, and the Obi with his second class in philosophy wanted Kwankwaso with his PhD in water engineering to be his running mate. No be your lawyer shrine to do be that. Apply for job in Shell with a second class in philosophy and see if you even get a response back. That's Reno Omokri for you. But I'm making this video to show that Peter Obi is eminently qualified. And in fact, Peter Obi's conduct since he left university with bachelor's degree in philosophy shows that he is the most enlightened, the most modern, and the most upward mobile and upward looking of them all. And this is the reason why, and I will explain it. Peter Obi has a degree in philosophy, but when he left university and got into business full-time, he understood the importance of continuous education. Continuous education is what makes a man to continue to modernize even after having left university. Some of us, we can remember some of our lecturers in the university. They used to give us lecture notes from way back, telling us that they have been using that lecture notes to teach their several sets of students before us. But that doesn't mean that they are smart. It means they were deteriorating because they were not modernizing, because they are not keeping up with current research. So Peter Obi has done quite more than any other presidential candidate in preparation for leadership. And he has exhibited it, and I will show you why I took this position. Now, after he left University of Nigeria and Soka with BA Philosophy, Peter Obi, to continue to improve his knowledge, went to Lagos Business School, Nigeria, and attended the Chief Executive Program. He went to Harvard Business School, Boston, USA, to attend a program on changing the game. He went to London School of Economics, Financial Management and Business Policy. That's what he did there. He went to Columbia Business School, New York, USA, Marketing Management. He also went to Institute for Management Development, Switzerland, in their breakthrough program for chief executive officers. He also went to Glenn Graduate School of Management, USA, Advanced Executive Program. He also went to Clark School of Management, Global Advanced Management Program. He went to Oxford University, Said Business School, Advanced Management and Leadership Program. He also went to Cambridge University, George Business School, Advanced Leadership Program. After doing all this, in the midst of going to all these schools, he was also actively involved in management. Now, he became chairman of Fidelity Bank. He has been chairman of Fidelity Bank. Now he is former chairman of Fidelity Bank. Former chairman of Guardian Express Mortgage Bank. Former chairman of Future View Securities Limited. Former chairman, Paymaster Nigeria Limited. Former chairman, Nest International Limited. Former director, Guardian Express Bank PLC. Former director, Charms Nigeria PLC. Former director, Emerging Capital Limited. Former director, Card Center PLC. He achieved all these things in his early 40s. Mr. Peter Obi achieved all these things in his early 40s before he became governor. I don't think there is any candidate in this presidential race who has been well equipped and better prepared for leadership than Peter Obi. You can see the array of leadership training he had gone, both in business, in management, and in leadership. So he is the most qualified in terms of leadership. And what the race is about leadership, who will lead this country aright, who will apply modern principles of leadership to turn Nigeria around from being a consuming nation to a producing nation. Who can turn the country around from being a net importer of goods and services to a net exporter of goods and services. Who can be able to turn Nigeria around from being the poverty capital of the world to being the prosperous capital and center of economic development in Africa and in the world. That is what the country is looking for. Who can turn this country that is known for corruption to a country that is known for transparency? And that is what is at stake. And that is what Nigerians, genuine Nigerians who are not after their personal pocket, are looking for. That is why you can see Nigerians spending their hard-earned money campaigning for Peter Obi, doing rallies on his behalf. They don't wait to be paid before they will go to the street to show support, the way Tinubu and Atiku pays, so that people can show support to them. Because Nigerians know that they are investing in Peter Obi because they have confidence in him. And he, from the amount of trainings he have received, he's well equipped for it. And these schools are verifiable schools. Since Peter Obi became the presidential candidate of Labour Party, these schools have been inundated by requests to confirm that Peter Obi actually attended them. Until date, nobody has ever come up with a report that any of these schools did not confirm that Peter Obi was there. So Peter Obi is well equipped for leadership. Don't forget that even after he left as governor, federal government of Nigeria appointed him chairman of Security and Exchange Commission Board. So he is more than qualified. And even if you have somebody with PhD who is not constantly improving himself, the person's PhD will almost be a PhD that will make him to be stagnant in terms of knowledge, because knowledge is improving and increasing every day. And Peter Obi understands it. That was why, after he left the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, with a degree in philosophy, and having moved into business, he began to continuously improve himself through professional trainings, where he has spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, because most of these programs were outside Nigeria, and we all know what it costs to attend this kind of programs. So he's eminently qualified, and I can tell you for free, there are many people with PhDs, even in management, that cannot be able to handle leadership of this country the way Peter Obi would if he becomes the president of Nigeria. Now, before I go to the next section of this video, which has to do with the contradictions in Reno Omokri's assertions. If you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, since academic qualification means so much for Reno Omokri, Reno Omokri has forgotten that his principal, Atiku Abubakar, became vice president of Nigeria with only a diploma. As at the time Atiku became vice president of Nigeria, his highest qualification was diploma. Now, it is that diploma that he used to manage the office of being the head of the Economic Council of Nigeria, because that's the constitutional, is constitutional that the vice president will be the head of the Economic Council. And it is the record, supposedly, of that era, the privatization and all the things that was done under Obasanjo administration, that Reno Omokri is using to market Atiku Abubakar. So, why is he marketing somebody who has only a diploma as vice president? It means that he's not supposed to be doing that. If you are projecting academic qualification as an indication of achievement or performance in office, then Atiku Abubakar ought to have performed woefully. Of course, he performed woefully in terms of the way he handled things, which was the reason why his principal said that God will not forgive him if he supports Atiku Abubakar, and I've written severally and said severally that Atiku is corrupt, and Atiku had not gone to court to challenge him, at least, or to ban, or to cause the court to ban that book from being circulated. But the book is still selling. Obasanjo's my watch. So that's the contradiction. You are supporting a man who became vice president with a diploma, and now you are picking hold with a man who has bachelor's degree, second class in philosophy, and who has gone to arrays of business school to make him the best he could be in his area of specialization, which is business, trading. You are just contradicting yourself. Now he talks about Kwankwaso, that Kwankwaso has a PhD in water engineering, and that he is the most qualified. That's the most educationally advanced. Now, if that is the measure to determine who becomes the president of Nigeria, then Reno Omokri should better advise Atiku Abubakar, who has a diploma and who we now hear that he has a master's degree. We will soon find out when we make inquiries in INEC to know whether he submitted it as part of his forms that he filled when he submitted his form. And to make even the whole thing laughable and suspicious is that Atiku Abubakar, as I said earlier, has a diploma. So how did he manage to get a master's now? Do they waive the bachelor's degree for him so that he can go straight and do the master's? How did he do it? So Atiku Abubakar, let us assume that he has gotten a master's, whichever way he managed to get it. He has to step down for Kwankwaso, who has a PhD in water engineering, so that Kwankwaso will be the presidential candidate they should support. You know, because you cannot be talking about that educational qualification, the most educationally backward of all the candidates is Peter Obi, because he has a bachelor's degree in philosophy, which is a lie, because all these qualifications I read out to you now, they were all gotten after he had already gotten the bachelor's degree in philosophy. Some of them are advanced leadership programs. So perhaps Reno Omokri don't know what is called advanced academic qualifications. And the schools that Peter Obi attended are the envies of the world in terms of the business world, in terms of leadership training. Oxford, Harvard, they are all here. So what is he talking about? Peter Obi has a higher qualification, higher than his first degree. So Reno Omokri is just contradicting himself, and he cannot pretend that he's not aware of all this array of qualifications by Peter Obi, which he got after his philosophy degree at University of Nigeria. Now about the issue of Shell, that Shell will not recruit somebody who has second class. Will Shell have also recruited his Atiku with his diploma? That's the question that Reno Omokri should tell us, or those who back him, or who are sharing that his tweets. Will Shell have employed Atiku with his diploma? Of course not. So what is he talking about? Peter Obi never had interest in working for Shell. If he had interest in working for Shell, perhaps he would have gone to study petroleum engineering or so, things that has to do with the oil industry. But that's what he want to study. He study philosophy. And philosophy cannot be downplayed, the importance of it. It is at the core of knowledge. That is why virtually every university you go, you see people studying for masters in philosophy. Whatever course you do, philosophy is at the core of knowledge. So it's not something that you can come and tell us that philosophy is a course that can be underrated. No, it is not true. It is not true. And the issue he brought about that Peter Obi don't know about green energy is a lie. I've listened to that video. It doesn't show that Peter Obi doesn't know what is green energy. But there were issues he wanted to prioritize beside that particular issue of green energy. And I'm going to do a video on it because I have a master's degree in environmental planning. So I know quite a bit about environment. So I will tell you why Peter Obi was right in that particular video they were talking about. Because there are some international politics being played, which our leaders are just accepting hook, line, and center. The highest, the biggest, and largest polluters of the world are United States and Europe. They are the reason why we are having the greenhouse effect we are having today. They are the reason why the climate is changing to the level that is affecting Africa the most in terms of agricultural practices, in terms of weather pattern, in terms of poverty that is increasing. But they want Africa to bear the burden of carbon dioxide elimination when we are the least polluters of the environment compared to the major polluters, Europe and the United States. That is why you see China. China has refused to sign some of these green agreements that our leaders are signing. Because when they subject China to cut its carbon emission, China will say that China is a third world country, it's a developing country. That the reason why the environment is suffering today is because of industrialization and the emission that it caused by the Western powers. So the polluters, those who pollute more, should pay more than those who polluted less, like we in Africa. And when I will do it, I will dwell on that in another video so that we analyze this thing very well, so that you can sit with why Peter Obi was dismissive of the issue of green energy and was talking about empowering the poor. So that's what is a video I will do next time. So that's part of the things that Reno Omokri is talking about and thinking that he has made a point. He has not made any point. Peter Obi was right. Now, you can see that Reno Omokri has no point. Academic qualification is good, but academic qualification is not the sole determinant of performance. Yes. And the academic qualification that Peter Obi has is already intimidating in terms of what Nigeria is looking for. Because Nigeria is looking for a leader, and Peter Obi is well equipped in leadership training. Nigeria is looking for a manager of the country's economy. Peter Obi is sound in business management and has been well trained. Peter Obi understands the importance of transparency in conduct of business. So he's more than qualified than even the principal of Reno Omokri, Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is not qualified in terms of if we are to do this president to call an international recruitment agency Atiku will not even be able to pass the first level of interview, talk more of being invited for the oral interview. So that is truth. But we're talking about leadership recruitment by Nigerians choosing who will be the best president for 2023. And if you look at the problem of Nigeria, you realize that the best man for the job is Peter Obi. Now, Reno Omokri has a lot of problem, especially because his principal, his campaign is in tatters. The campaign council, some people who are listed among the campaign council have disowned the campaign council. They have abandoned Atiku Abubakar just as the election is about to take place. But it's also good because it's like serving Atiku his own medicine. We all remember what how Atiku led the revolt against Jonathan. So it served him right. It's okay that is happening to him. And if you listen to what Asiwaju Bola have been saying about Atiku lately, he said that Atiku is a dishonest person. He's an unreliable person. He's an untrustworthy person. And he's a deceitful person. That's the summary of what Asiwaju Bola have been saying about Atiku Abubakar. That is enough for Reno Omokri to be working on to try to clear this darkness or this dark cloud surrounding his principal, instead of looking for what to say about Peter Obi to damage his campaign. And when he couldn't find anything, he began to contradict himself and make himself look like a fool. Because this is Reno Omokri, who used to say that put in his so-called Reno nuggets, that what is more important is people you know and not your academic qualification. That's a bunch of somersault to now begin to talk about PhD and bachelor's degree when we are talking about the leader who has leadership knowledge, the academic knowledge, and all-round knowledge to take the country out of the woods, which from all indication, Peter Obi is eminently qualified. And if you are to bring international recruiters to recruit a president for Nigeria, let's say Nigeria is a corporation and Nigeria is looking for international recruiters to come and assess our leaders, Peter Obi will beat all of the presidential candidates, 18 of them in this race, hands down. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.